Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. The other day I was at a gas station here in Milwaukee. Not something I do that often during these pandemics, which is fill up the gas tank. But I needed to get some gas, so I stopped there and I saw something wonderful. There was a young man filling his tank at one pump, and on the other side of that pump was an elderly man who had just pulled up. And when the young man saw this, he went around to the other side of the pump and put his credit card in the machine and told the elderly man that the gas was on him. The elderly man sat there like stunned and just blindsided by kindness and love and compassion. And then the young man just went over and finished topping off his tank, got in his car and drove away. There was no great fanfare or any sense of wanting acknowledgement. That young man gave a great gift that day, not just to the elderly man and his generosity to him, but he gave me a wonderful gift as well. Because I was at a place in life where I was just feeling sort of down and overwhelmed by this continued pandemic and the way it's gripping our lives, and a few other things as well weighing heavily on me. And here in this man's generosity, I found that love was still indeed at work, quietly steering life towards compassion and wholeness. In today's daily office, we read from the 3rd chapter of James. Apologize for the animals here. It's a peaceful house. But in James, he's reflecting on how a small, insignificant rudder can steer a huge ship. And in part, James is using that image to remind us or warn us how sometimes some small, what seem to be insignificant words can cause a whole lot of damage to our relationships and can cause life to veer off course in all sorts of ways. But if that's true, what's also implied in it is that it only takes a small, seemingly insignificant rudder to steer the ships of our lives back towards a direction of life and wholeness. And what a gift that is to pause and pray about today. Because I suspect we can all name times when we feel like the ships of our lives have veered off course for whatever way. But to continue to pause and pray as to how we've come to experience God steering our lives back towards wholeness and hope through seemingly small and otherwise insignificant rudders. Maybe it's experienced in a little word of encouragement that helps steer our lives towards some strength and courage when every other fiber wants to despair and give up. Or maybe it's found in the silent kind of love that's willing to just sit in our pain and hurt with us and not try to advise us out of it, but just sit in it with us. And in that constant, quiet presence, we find our lives slowly steered towards hope. Or maybe it's experienced in a small, otherwise seemingly insignificant random act of kindness at a gas station or elsewhere, where we're reminded that love is truly still at work in our lives, slowly steering lives towards a direction of compassion. And over we marvel in a God who finds ways to go deep into our lives, deep beneath the ships of our lives, all so that they can continually be steered, however slowly that may happen, towards wholeness in life. God's peace and blessings to you all.